Okay, so today is episode 3 since I got Bad Moon Rising, and I still haven't gotten a chance to play it a single time because, of course, you know I do the other format. At least for now I'm doing it, and I have been the whole playthrough, where I can only play as every hero once per episode, or at least until I lose once, then I can't play as them again. So I've either won or lost as Super Brains before I've ever seen Bad Moon Rising or gotten a chance to obviously play it. And so the other point is, or maybe I played it on like a super weak board, but I don't think I did. But the point is that kind of marks the beginning of the overtime phase of this series, where now the only other thing I want is I want my first and only extra zombie hero, which is going to be the Yeti zombie that we're going to save up 754, and then after that we're going to do a finale where I just try to get to rank 50, which I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do that because I don't really have time to do it with the way that I'm doing this like once a week for only an hour. Even if I won every game and had the best decks in existence, right, and was the best player, you're not going to get to rank 50 that quickly because it'll just take longer than that just to get through the games, even if they're aggro or something. So what I'll probably do, I'll just hypothesize it now, I'll drop the rule that I can only play until I lose it once with each hero every episode, because that would be unfair, and I might have to do longer episodes and more episodes in a week, or I'd have to figure something out. Imagine being so pathetic and casual that you can't even get to rank 50 in a casual game, but at least to even have the chance to try, you'd have to play a bit longer. That's the point. And so the point is that I would drop that format, because you got to think, even if you have the best deck in existence, right, and you play it perfectly every time, you're never going to have a 100% win rate, so you're going to have to play some of the same ones over and over. Maybe I could still do it where I rotate, like, and of course I have no desire to even get an event card. That was the only one I wanted, was obvious. Isn't that like a guaranteed legendary pack? But it's the Bad Moon Rising. I got 3 of them, obviously, so it'd be bizarre that I wouldn't get a chance to play it. But my point is that the overtime is going to be, we'll get our first zombie hero. I guess if I got it from a pack, that would kind of still count too, but we haven't gotten a single hero, obviously, ever from a pack. I bought Captain Combustible, and of course I have the other format too. So many formats to the series. No crafting run, etc., etc. But this is, you have to have a legendary of each of their types before you can buy it outright. Otherwise, you have to just get it from a pack. Of course, that's not restricted. So the only reason why I'm getting him is because the only zombie legendaries I have is like the whatever cowboy thing and one of the nurse gargantuars, so it would fit for both of those. That's why I can get him and nobody else, right? It's not even out of preference, but that's fine. I don't really care. It's unfortunate though that nobody else can use Bad Moon Rising as much as I was hyping it up and anticipating it. And so yeah, this is the overtime phase. I have to again save up for that, and then when we do that, the series is basically over, aside from the rank 50 push that I should try to do as a finale. And I could do it as like a permanent challenge, that if I you know, I'll pick a month, not saying the immediate month after, even I might take a break or I'll have to figure something out, but I will say like, oh, this particular month I have to get to rank 50, and if I don't, I have to delete my account, and if I do, then I get to save it, right? And the point with that is, it won't matter because I won't play it again probably after that for a long time or ever. The game might go offline, but just as a celebratory, whatever, ritualistic thing that I'm always a permadeath player, I like to do that. I swear, this icon looks exactly the same as the one that was like the guaranteed legendary pack that we had 6 monster zombie cards. How do we see this? Legendary. I do like this guy. In fact, I like most of the gargantuars. They kind of represent my mid-range style, but in this game, it ends up being something else entirely. Pet monster zombie. Yeah, it's also been a free-to-play run and a no-ad run. So it's free-to-play, no ads, no crafting. You can only buy heroes within a certain criteria, like if you have a legendary of each kind, which of course you can't control that. Or I guess to some extent you can, but yeah, let's go ahead. We're kind of just doing a relaxing couple episodes now, where I'd like to see still how far I can get, and I'd like to be able to flex Bad Moon Rising. But other than that, we're just saving up for 750 gems. Then when we save, yeah, not a mismatch, by the way, it's 16 rank difference. Once we save up 750 gems, we get the first and only zombie hero. So we at least have 4 of each, and 1 new one from the starting base 3, which is not very much, but compared to what I said at the beginning, like, oh, let me just play this game real quick and get every hero real quick and just do a permanent run. But no, I could do it like that, where if I lose, like, I'll play like this. If I lose it as combustible, I have to play as the next hero, right? And I also switch from like plant to zombie, but it doesn't mean I can't play as them again for that episode. It just means that I would have to rotate. So I play as combustible, now I have to play as everybody else before I play as combustible again, to sort of force it and give it some variety. But no, there's a lot of things I like about this game, and I don't think I'll mess around with the mods and stuff, but there's all kind of other fun things you could do with it still. And of course, if you were willing to craft, I could make all kind of gimmick and themed decks. This guy I kind of like with the bullseye. Basically, all I want to see is Bad Moon Rising. I don't even care about any of this other stuff that I've done a million times, but Combustible is a great way to start the episode. And I guess originally I was giving him the honors always because he's the newest, right? He's the newest hero that I got, and the only hero that I got, to the extent that obviously, you know, you sort of want to show off the newest one. And so once we get the Yeti, we can give him the precedent, but it is a real shame that we don't have... I guess if I got a legendary from a pack that would allow me to get a different hero, then we could obviously do Bad Moon Rising on somebody else potentially. Why is he being so slow, this guy? But no, it seemed like such a smash kind of card too, and I like the smash so much. You have a lot of good low-cost cards, one-cost cards, and so that makes it very valuable. Just free real estate, free damage. A lot of just stuff to do with space in this game. I mean, that was one of the big expansions, was to do with space, and one of them was to do with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, zombies, aliens. Quite a combination. Sounds like a good Friday night. I'm surprised I didn't use that title for... Or maybe I did. It's one of my favorite lines in gaming history from Until Dawn, where the guy asks you a question, there's like a psychologist you keep talking to, and he asks you a question like, what are you afraid of? And you go through this book so dynamically, no matter what you say, he'll combine three of them, like, zombies, aliens, spiders. Quite a combination. Sounds like a good Friday night. And then he gives like a creepy laugh. I just love it's so random, but I love it. Okay, I don't know what to do about the 4/4, but again, you can't worry about all this shit. Like, you just have to go for it, right? You're never gonna win on the board or in the long term or anything like that here. But no, if I had to pick a style in card games, I always say I'm a mid-range player. Right, I'm not a big fan of aggro, I'm not a big fan of control typically, but this game almost doesn't feel like it has control, and a lot of stuff devolves down into, I guess you could do it like this, where you go here to try to trade, which I don't really want to do, or I could have just maybe tried to do the bonus attack. Science damage, zombie does damage. Dancing science zombie, fuck me. You get the stupid ass block meter, just go for it. I mean, that almost will kill him right there. And even though the whole mobile thing throws me off, I haven't really misclicked or had much issue with that kind of thing in this game, right, that I could use potentially as an excuse. But no, that's the lowest point of your gaming life, where, oh, I'm too much of a casual to even try to make a run at rank 50 whatever in a casual game. This should be pretty much no, but it won't be though. He won't kill me just with those two alone. But between these two, you should certainly die, and I don't understand why not. Like, what could he do for 2 mana that could finish me off? Probably a number of things. Bonus attack, extra damage. He's got nothing. But I could never figure out either whether people are really bots in this game or not. Because I feel like, or whatever he gets from that. Oh... it doesn't really feel like they're bots. Sometimes they're still sort of satisfying to play against, which is at least better than you can say in Hearthstone and other games where it feels very unsatisfying. However, what you have is a simple realization that... Why did my phone like fuck up like that? You will get the block meter. You will get, I forgot what I was even going to say. I'll get saved by the block meter seemingly, but I still won't be able to kill him because everything just keeps blocking everything perfectly. Or I might not get saved by the block meter, but I do. Or that'll do the trick. And see, that's massive overkill too. Even if he was at full health, I could have killed him there, because if it didn't trigger the block meter, we would have just hit for 20. We haven't seen too many crazy moments like this in this game, like of super high damage values. He gets to rank 10, but it's good at least as a test run to see like how far could I possibly get this month if I win every game and just, you know, whatever. And the answer is I typically get to rank 20 pretty easily, but, or not even really easily, but within the amount of time. It's not that unrealistic. So again, we got to save up the 750. That goes without saying. This has been a very good series on YouTube too. It's done very well, and I won't even take like a ton of credit because like, oh, I'm so good or something, or maybe the formats are sort of interesting, but it's more just like you're playing a dead game that probably nobody's doing content on besides the Fry guy who was trying to chase clout from the Hawk to a girl meme. And I even named one of my stupid Smite episodes after her now because everybody's so obsessed. Cerberus from Smite, and one of his moves is paralyzing spit. So it's like Cerberus has the most paralyzing spit since the Hawk to a girl because she paralyzed the whole world, paralyzed the whole nation with it. Again, you can't really worry about the board too much, and quite frankly, I won't. Right, it'll just help me far bump my block meter, which only helps me kill him quicker all the more. We can't do anything about it. That's a good amount of damage that we're getting in. You gotta have the right mentality for this, right? Like, you can't that's the biggest mistake I made at the beginning, or that you can make in general. When you know your collection's not that good or whatever, you know, here at least it's more deliberately aggro, but even if it's not, you can only do so much because you know you're not going to win the long game anyway. So that's not a bad move, so I don't know what. Okay, that's deadly. Oh, I won't even kill it though. What the fuck? That is kind of annoying, right? I would have been fine with the trade off of that. But yeah, this series has been very good. This community is very nice and sort of very passionate about a game that is, you know, maybe a bit past its time. And it's also a case where you're able to look at it like, I keep cucking my ability to potentially play that though. Maybe I should have put it somewhere else. But yeah, it's done well there, so it's a nice thing, but you know, I liked it more than I really thought I would. Now you get triggered on the block meter early though, unfortunately. This guy's won me a number of games, even though it's really to no credit of his. See, what a clutch. Of course, I got hit on purpose just so I could do that. Right, like you're just farming out block meter superpowers. Again, I don't even mind the superpower mechanic, but I hate the block meter. I've said it from day one. The first episode I said it, and to some extent people were still agreeing with me. That like, even though they love the game, that's one thing they don't like. Move a zombie, which I can't even do. If you are going to start killing them, you may as well do it like this now. Right, prioritize targets a bit, whereas up until now I've just been strategically trying to avoid them. That's a very convenient time to play that card, dude. Very, very nice. Yeah, that's how you know you're some sort of boomer washed up clown. Like that you'd have any reservation about a game like this. Like, oh, well, I don't have enough time to play PvZ Heroes of all things. Like, but no matter what you do, it's going to be time consuming. This would actually survive. And I feel obligated to do it here just because he's putting too much pressure on the board. Like, I can't do anything. Not that I'm going to die, but that I have to deal with it. Alright, that doesn't bother me too much. But it acts as basically just an invincibility for the turn. It's waste my time. You can buff this dude, which won't even really help. I have a tendency to be very trigger happy with everything on combustible, of course, because like you might say, oh, save it, but save it for what? The game should be over, you know, ASAP, so don't hold anything back. And again, I'm sometimes like that on other heroes too, just because of the assumption that my deck's not good enough to win in the long term anyway. Alright, Conjuration is very good, although I'm not too big on mushrooms. Okay, that's fine too. Other mushrooms get +1/+1. Or maybe you could do it like this. But that will synergize. Not that it really matters here because that one will just die anyway, but the act of summoning it summons a mushroom and then... Or no, maybe it doesn't. Wait, that should totally work. That's such a good combo. when played, but it's being played at the same time. I guess that effect is triggering. But didn't he like cost himself the deadly on there by putting it in the gravestone, thereby making that kind of a bad play? Right, he hit him in there, but then he had deadly before that. Right, now at least the board is clear, but he still has a lot of shit in his hand. But yeah, this is one of the few categories that you can dominate as a small streamer. Why? Not because, oh, you're so good or something, but because nobody else does it typically, again, except for the very small number of big streamers. So I discovered it kind of by accident because I was just doing my PvZ hard mode series, and then I was like, let me try some of the other PvZ games like Garden Warfare and this one just to try them. And then I was also craving another card game to play. So I'm thinking like Duelist 2 or some other card game I could find out. Disney Lorcana, if they have a digital version, I kind of wanted to try. There's a lot of good ones out there. And so again, it doesn't mean I'll like never play this again once it's over, but it means that effectively I probably won't get around to it. But I could always do it as like a bonus thing. Like today I feel like playing this weird deck or something, and maybe at that point I would drop the rule set of it, but or I could start another account. But you see how long it takes given my, you know, but even that's really dangerous when I'm so low on health. But I always assume the block meter is going to help me. Or just because I hate it does. Oh fuck, that was a good sequence for sure. Okay, now you're just being BM troll, and I've made that joke before, but I don't think I've used it as a title because why would I? Because I've never had Bad Moon Rising. You can't spell BMR without BM. Bad manners. Bad Moon Rising without BM. I was gonna almost type it out all the way, but then it doesn't actually work because, you know, you can't spell BMR as in Bad Moon Rising written out without bad manners. But if you actually look at the letters in Bad Moon Rising, it doesn't actually spell that, so it doesn't work. So let's try to do it in such a way that we finally get to play it. It is a game-winning, game-altering play, right? Kind of like Zombot 9000 or whatever the fuck, where, you know, you always see that from some evolution type effect, right? Oh, you have an 8-cost card, it increases cost by 1, so you guarantee to summon him, right? Which is, you might think, oh, that's a good smart play, which it kind of is, right? That's one of those meta things to just know that, right? You know that the only 9-cost zombie minion, at least in the game, is Zombot 9000, so you know if you increase the cost, it'll be that. But it also shows you just the staggering lack of cards in the game, because what other game could you do that with? Like, there would be plenty of other 9-cost cards, just because this game is so limited in scope. You can take advantage of stuff like that. It was both a good knowledge of the game that you know that, but it's also dumb because it just shows you how limited it is. Right, that's not really intended, I don't think, in the long term. Maybe, you know, at the beginning of the game, sure, you would know there's only going to be so many cards, but you would never really want it to work like that. We can go ahead, we can play this onto there. And we get a legend. Oh shit, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Oh, I always call him like Zombot 9000. He's Zombot 1000. I guess because he does 9, it would maybe make a bit more sense. Destroy all plants. Like, compare these two. Oh no, I don't have that even in my hand. Well, even if I don't get Bad Moon Rising, we'll get a chance to play this guy, which is fun. As if this rank 7 has any idea what's in store for him. Using a little cheesy freeze deck, which I always kind of make fun of the mechanic. Like, it's okay if you kind of hard commit to it, but it's not really that good. Or everybody will have like all these preconceived notions about how certain things are, but when they say it, they mean it more like, they mean it more along the lines of, you know, they're thinking about a meta sense or a very specific application, right? When I'm saying it, especially when I first started playing the game or any game, it's like I'm just looking at it on a surface level, right? Like, I don't have the optimal setup. I still don't have the optimal setup, but I, you know, make the most of what I have. Zombies played here that are gravestones. You could do a bonus attack there. And like, I don't fully get it. I could do the bonus attack and then I could move it back again, I guess. Right, just so it doesn't die, because it won't be able to... Or no, wait, that wasn't a very smart idea though. I guess I just did that for no real reason. whatever. I'm just kind of flexing random stuff for no good call. Or yeah, this is the most nonsensical interaction. So your ice pea would become a regular pea because, oh, here we go. We see it. We just have to last long enough, which I very well might not now. My deck is kind of top heavy because I have 3 of those, and apparently, you know, that's not even in there, but it's a good problem to have, like with Green Shadow, but I'm surprised I haven't done better with him, like where I have double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. When a zombie is revealed from a gravestone, gets +1. Okay, he has nothing actually strong enough to do that, though. Go ahead, buff it, buff it. Your greedy desire to do even more damage is going to fuck you over here. Oh, here we go, dude. I almost wish you would have done it on that one, though. I am very low on health, although so is he. See, and this is the problem with this game sometimes. The pace is so crazy. What is this Marvel Snap? Where you'll basically get to... Oh, my God. Oh, is this the one that... Yeah, I blame Astros. I keep using his deck, and I keep forgetting that... you know, it's the one that he told me to make, which is fine. I'm not saying I would do much better with the random one that I was using, but I at least wanted to give it a chance to try it. So this is going to kill me, and there's nothing I can do. Right, like there's literally not... It's turn fucking 5, man. What can I do? Yeah, it's +2. I'm going to lose yet again. So I have to remember, like, for next time that I basically get to... Man, so I see I won't get to play Bad Moon Rising yet again 3 weeks in a row. This is always a trend. Wait, what? Wait, why didn't that happen? Oh, he's already getting it. I don't know why I had it in my head that we get to play Bad Moon Rising, but no, I have all this weird stuff in here that I didn't necessarily want. I guess I could play it just for the sake of it, even though it's sort of an insulting use of it. It could turn it into something that would end up killing him still, like a frenzy. Yeah, I'm one short of being able to play that when it's already at a reduced cost. What you have is a simple, yeah, freezing. Or would that work for my thing, or unless I freeze my own, which you can't even do. Conjure a mustache. You know, we could just do it just for the fuck of it, because I know I'm going to lose anyway. But the point is that, whatever, next time I should try to remember not to use this one. I want to try the other one. When a plant gets hurt, destroy it. When a plant is destroyed, you get +1. And that's really going to help me, dude. It could have been something good with the frenzy because he was so low. I forget what the mustaches would even give you. I don't think that would have been too big of a deal. Like, how come I keep forgetting to do that? Let me go in here. I'm not really blaming that, but whatever. It's sometimes my style works better for me just because I don't know. I kind of know what I'm getting into. If you select that, will it really override it, or I don't know why every single time. I swear I changed it before. But this one should also have the Bad Moon Rising in there. It's a little bit more disorganized. See, he's trying to build it assuming you have all the best cards, but you can't always do that because you don't have all those cards, so it's just not going to work that way. At least I got to play it, assuming I didn't already play it and I forgot. See, like, let's try to flex Green Shadow. We have 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits. So both sides have, like, really epic cards. You have the Nurse Gargantuars and the 6 mana 7/8, and you have 3 Bad Moon Rising. Like, you have some good shit. You have 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits, and you have a couple other event cards, and you have a couple other legendaries, like the 3/2 Muscle Sprout. You know, you have a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of good stuff in my collection. Right, but it's just not... These Bad Moon Risings will make a fine addition to my collection. What does he even say? Oh, these lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection. Yeah, it's very strange, though, because again, if I can get the game to last that long, yes, I should probably win, but I won't let the game last that long. Right, like we just lost on basically turn 7 with Zombot Knight, 1000 in my hand, and obviously Bad Moon Rising, which I just played for the meme of it, but here you should almost play on the board a bit more. Maybe that's a mistake I make, but do I really care about a 1/1, like... Bro's gonna lose to Michael Jackson over here. We go ahead, we have the thing. I guess I'll just do this. He has this infinite removal, so there's nothing I can even do. But no, this is a very important interaction to conjure the leafy thing. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, 1-1 is still good. You get the effect from it. So you're not trying to rush him down. You're trying to last out a bit more, and I don't always have the best ability to do that. And again, I'm not saying I even have the best iterations of each of these decks and what they could be, but I will say that you typically want those to be a higher cost, or at least that's something that I lack in my deck, even though I just said I do have double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. The low cost random shit like this I can get anytime I want. Double this plant strength and health. That is a fun card, but it's not really gonna stay alive. So what you have is or that could be very good as like a combo play, because now the double is going to get that much more impactful. But again, you never assume stuff like that will stay alive, so it ends up being sort of fool's gold to commit to it, right? What are the chances that this guy who's already used like 5 pieces of removal wouldn't have one? But at least he has to commit a lot to do it. Yeah, you're trying to last out long enough. The smash is kind of like that. This guy is kind of like that for me, where you have good stuff in the mid-range. You still don't want it to last too long, right? You want it to last just long enough to get your big play out there, like Bad Moon Rising-esque thing, or just get a good board out there, and then you win with it quickly, right? So it's not aggro, it's not control, although it sort of sounds like control and sort of feels like it in a game where they don't have a lot of 2-cost cards, or they don't have a lot of high-cost cards, but it's the case where you obviously are able to do that, where, you know, you're waiting for your big drop cards to play, Dark Matter, Dragon Fruit, whatever, Gargantua, zombies, the Nurse, Gargantuas, whatever, and you try to just win with that. And if they can withstand that, then you lose. Or if they can kill you before you get it, you lose. So there's a lot of downsides to it. So he's got a lot of debuffing and removal capabilities, which is an interesting theme, at least for his deck. But again, he's only playing into my hand because if I fucking goddamn it, if I get what I want, then see, like I love this top deck thing. I was just saying this like in an arena run I was doing in, I always call them arenas, in a draft run I was doing in Magic the Gathering. Like, I love when we get to top deck mode, because then you have to make the best of what you have, which shows you your deck isn't so great or isn't like overpowered and meta and predictable. But the problem is now this won't even do anything. The zombie trick is played, which of course he has many of those. So it is sort of a refreshing thing, because it can happen at the meta level too, where you'll sort of top deck because you both play the predictable thing and they cancel each other out. But it's like the same principle of how every chess game ends in a draw, right? Because if you play it perfectly, then every game's a draw and nobody wins, because you can just kind of think about it and calculate and come to the same conclusion at the same level. There's the same thing here. Like, 2 evenly matched decks will end up decking themselves out, kind of, even though their styles of play could be very different. And the reason why you could do that is because of the simple fact that the reason why you could do that is because of the simple fact that you're in a position to be able to no block meter to worry about, at least. In fact, we rarely even see that happen, where they lose all 3 of them. Normally they'll lose before that. See, the ice runs out like at the same time where he would be attacking, so it kind of looks weird. It should stay till like the end of the turn. We can kind of bait him here and just try to kill him. Or no, I mean, it happens right then, so you should be dead pretty much anyway. Even if you hit me with that, it doesn't matter. You'd have to triple hit me because I already have the block meter to save me too. It still doesn't matter. All the removal in the goddamn universe this guy has. Holy shit. Oh my god. I was just kind of joking that he would have an answer for it too. I hear, you know, he just played Zombot 2 turns in a row in a different sense. Like, he cleared my entire board, but then he cleared it again. Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that, you fucker. That's such a good clutch kind of a thing to get. Because I don't know what option I would have had beyond that. I might have had nothing, and I had to clutch it from the here. That was actually epic. The point is that he cleared my board with Zombat 1000, and then I think, okay, that must be all the removal he has, and then the next turn he has 5 more removal cards to individually clear my board one thing at a time, basically. That is so frustrating to deal with. But no, like 2 decks that are perfectly evenly matched will top deck themselves out because they'll again, I'll play the big minion that you expect, like Alex Straza in Hearthstone, and then you'll use Execute on it, and then I'll play the other thing, and then you'll use some other, you know, everything is predictable. You know what I'm gonna play, I know what you're gonna play, and they cancel each other out because they're both meta plays that have been done a million times and they've been decided on that they're the best. So that was actually an insane Yu-Gi-Oh! Epic kind of moment because I don't know what I would have had there to try to win otherwise. But no, we're just doing this month kind of for fun, and then maybe after that we'll consider what we want to do once we get to 750. It's not even that I want the series to end, but it's just gone on for so long. Like, what do you know? I'm not bored of it or anything, even despite the limited number of cards and stuff. It almost doesn't matter because I haven't played still that much, but that could kind of bait him a little bit to not die to that. That's fine. 4-3. Nothing wrong with that. I like when I post certain videos. Like, again, this community is the opposite of that, where they're just very nice and whatever, or just, you know, almost desperate for content, starved for content because nobody ever does it. But whatever, that's still fine. It was a good, like, little thing. I never thought about it like that, but it's a good thing for like small streamers. You should totally play this game because, oh, you can dominate the category on Twitch or on YouTube or something, so it can be good for you that way, but whatever. But the other point is the fact that with certain ones, people get pissed and triggered by everything that you do, like World of Warcraft. If you just post a video like, oh, you're just having fun, you're just messing around, people get so mad, like, oh, you're doing it wrong, you're playing this wrong. Like, fuck off, dude. I'm just doing whatever I want to do. I'm doing some weird format like with that too. Like, they're just annoying about it. They're trying to show off or prove something, but they're really not. Or like Path of Exile seems like that. I'll always shit all over the Path of Exile community to some extent because I played the game one time in my life, and I was getting all this advice and stuff that I didn't want even while I was playing it. And then it's also a case where it's like, what do you call it? I was getting advice, and then the comment section on a video of mine, again, the only time I've ever played it, that's the one and only session, my first time playing it. Like my Saturday format is what I played it for. When I always play, that's what I played this game originally in, is my Saturday format. Like, you know, I'll play this game for the first time. I can't remember. We finally found a way to beat the zombies because we put brains on a card, so they'll eat those instead of the plants or something. Was my joke title for that. But my point is that I haven't used this guy in a while, it feels like. You know what, that might be okay, but he might have something better later on. His deck doesn't really feel all that intimidating to me, but my point was that, yeah, Path of Exile, like, again, you play it one time and people are losing their minds and telling you all these optimal stuff. Like, none of that matters. Like, just let the person play the game and just try it, and then they can worry about all that stuff later. This is one of the biggest things that boggles my mind, is the fact that this guy can't be used by Wall Knight, even though he has a Wall Knight in his fucking hand. Tommy's cost 1 less. Is that really the time to play this? I guess it was. This is even really worth it because it's like, yes, you'll freeze it, but it's not going to do anything anyway. I'll only do 1 damage to it. He's going to get pretty low here, and he's in sort of top deck mode, but I'm literally in top deck mode. He's still got a little bit left. Or again, we pop people's block meter 3 times in these last 2 games, which, like I even said, is pretty rare. You'll either kill them or lose before that happens. The guy in the middle here is no threat to us. But what I need to figure out is Snake in the Grass is pretty good, but he's not going to survive long enough. It's a problem. Right, maybe I shouldn't have even done that, but I feel worried. Oh, come on, man. He's got a couple heavy hitters out here. Or yeah, even that's going to end up killing you, but, you know, you're sort of punishing tricks in a different way that would allow you to, you know, I like Untrickable. Fuck. I like Untrickable. I like that. I like Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. That's my favorite thing about Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. Not the fact that he hits 3 lanes with splash damage. Not the fact that it's just a good, well-statted card. Not the fact that he's amphibious. But the fact that he hinders trick usage so much. Yeah, I'm just dead. Maybe if I put the snake in the grass in the water, I might have actually been able to kill. No, but it wouldn't have tanked the 4 damage, so I'd be closer to dying myself here. You know, the one thing I haven't played in a while that I almost would like to is a story game. Because when I do, I get like super immersed in them, and I like to take my time and whatever. But again, I don't have as much time, and I'd have to do it kind of on a regular daily basis or something. And I would also have to figure out, like, I don't know, it's just a different sort of vibe to it. I'm still not dead, actually, surprisingly. Untrickable, again, I don't have... Do I even have a single Untrickable card myself? I mean, I'm just dead no matter how you slice it. That could trade in. He still has some shit left, too. I could freeze this. Okay. I mean, there really wasn't much I could do there. So, we're not getting the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. I mean, imagine. Spoiled, entitled, free-to-play player. Like, I have 2 of them, which I was very lucky and fortunate to get. But I didn't actually get to play them there at all. So either the game doesn't last that long, either you win or lose before you get to turn 8 or something, or like for Batman Rising turn 7 even, or you do it in such a way that you either win or lose before you get to that turn, or you don't even get the card that you want to play, or even if you get there, you don't get to play it comfortably. Like, you're going to die if you do play it, because you kind of need a free... It's not really a free turn, but you need that turn to play it and then let it sit for a little bit, and then it'll be impactful. Or, you know, that's one of those that, oh, it's very hard to get rid of. Not because it's untrickable, because whatever trick they use is going to cost way too much, right? So that really is such a fun effect. That's a reason to put it in the water, even though you miss one of the 3 cone arcs. That's one of my trolls in this game that I do to people on purpose, kind of. I play the cowboy thing in the water because, oh, he's amphibious and I love amphibious. That's the first thing I read, and I don't read the rest of the effect. But really, it's every time he hits the hero, you'll move right 1 lane. So I should have played it in the left and it would have hit like 5 times. But the point being that, you know, even with Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, I would still hypothesize the same thing. I'll put it in the water, even though you hit 2 lanes out of 3 now with the splash damage, so you miss out on something. But the reason why that's so good still is because now you put it in the water, and it's very hard for him to get rid of with stuff that he has on the board. He can't summon anything in the water because you might not have anything amphibious, right? It's much less likely, and you won't be able to remove it out of your hand with like a trick because it's going to cost 6 more. So now you become screwed, and you're going to win not because of its damage, but you're going to win because of its base ability that's going to cuck his ability to play tricks ever, right? And it's like an ongoing Lotheb effect, like speaking of Hearthstone. This is 2 or less. Charge Lord. Didn't I get him myself, or... I almost feel like I have him now, or I somehow played him in a game the other day. That might have been, maybe I just got it from some other effect. I don't know why I feel like I've seen him so much lately. Or maybe Astros was just playing him against me a lot. Yeah, some of these ranked matchups are bonkers because you might say, oh, you know, whatever rank I'm stuck at. Not that I'm even really ever stuck, but you're playing against people who are pretty decent ranks themselves. So sometimes that hunt effect can actually be bad for me, but it's a very aggressive sort of setup for the smash because actually I don't really want to do it like this where you know, I do have the heavy hitters incoming. Yeah, -1 when a plant is played, move it here. I don't know. I don't know what good that's really gonna do me. You have to break all 3 of your block meters too to get this shit to work, because it doesn't seem like that's a good trend. Like, we keep doing it, but it ends up not really That's fine. It ends up not really doing anything from the perspective of... So they make it so the environments can never kill anything because it always gives them minus attack, right? I don't think it gives them minus health. Like even that other one, the water one, right, will give them like -2 attack, but it won't actually give them minus health such that it could kill them. That's fine. This is fine. The onion, as I always call it, for some reason in the actual PvZ game. We actually see, but I don't know why I feel like I remember getting him myself. He's a legendary, right? So I would have... No, he's not a legendary, so maybe it wouldn't have been that climactic. Because, yeah, maybe I even made a deck that was based around roots to try to play into that, but I don't think it's actually worth it because as much as everybody writes creepypastas and memes and whatever about him, right, like he's such a big deal, he can just be so annoying if you hide him behind something like this guy is doing. But also it's a case where, you know, when you have multiple of them, that just gets out of control. This shows you the high-end nature of this deck, but it's not going to matter now. Even though we get to the stage that I want, there's just nothing I can do. I would need more removal. I mean, sometimes you are just outclassed. Like, there wasn't much I could do, even if this game went perfectly. But he's getting just way too much value from everything he's doing. Guardian class. Oh, I never really clicked on this, I don't think. Oh, we can heal up to 4 maybe at the very beginning. I always forget what class is what. Some of them don't even make entirely that much sense. And again, some of the applications of it are annoying. We'll get rid of Star's Floor just as a moral victory kind of thing, but we obviously lose. Although I still am at 20 health, but there's nothing I can do about any of this stuff. Or even the healing from that is nice. Even if you overkill them, you still heal for the full amount, don't you? Right, it's not like you have to actually do the full damage to them. If you would get hurt, this gets hurt instead. Okay. Which will absorb actually a substantial amount, right? It doesn't matter. I don't think as much. No, I forget. Well, it doesn't matter now. Right, we're getting kind of rolled over in a couple of these games. But no, like, what were some of the most interesting things about this game? Like the fact that, oh, it has 40 cards compared to Hearthstone only having 30. So that means this is more complicated than Hearthstone, which it doesn't really mean that, but let's try Wall Knight. We're just going to speed run through all of these as much as I'm talking trash that, oh, I can get pretty far. You know, we are playing an average of rank 20 people, which is fine. It doesn't matter, but it just kind of misrepresents the level that you're at sometimes. I'll keep those. This guy's in there just for the phallic imagery thing. This guy's in there for just the fact that I love the effect, and it is really good. And again, I always consider it to be basically a legendary to me, but you may argue that's not really worth it. Like, I could have just put the walnut and tried to figure it out later, but I like Walnut style of play, but maybe I only like it because I don't have it fully fleshed out. Because if I did, then I would feel like, is it worth it to even do that? Like, it feels like a waste. Just so I had to take free damage, but you're going to have so many nuts to go around. It's fine. But no, you have a case of... +1/+1 environment and bullseye. Let's just do this one, period. We're kind of ignoring what he's doing too much, which is a mistake. Right, as a defensive style deck, you shouldn't really do that. But no, I'm still playing this one kind of more in the mid-range, where I'm not really like, you know, Wall Knight at his best might be you have to last out a super long amount of time and just kind of wear them out and use like that one bowling ball thing that kills everything in every lane. That'll still trade in favorably, so I guess it's okay. We've already used 2 of the mines. When you play zombie, you get +2 this turn. Anti-hero is definitely not one of my favorite mechanics to even use myself. Like, that's why I don't really like Solar Flare too much. Again, this could have some crazy potential if you just like double its health or something. But of course, it's bad once it starts trading in, then it's just going to give up its own attack value. Or doesn't this mean, like, this has no strength, technically? So that's actually interesting. This should give it +2 because it has 0 strength. Just because it attacks with its health doesn't mean it actually counts as that officially. Deadly strike through, bounce a plant. I guess now we won't get to find out because I won't even do that. Damn, I almost want to see that interaction now. Do I dare do this shit on the 4/4? Why don't I just trade in though? I'm not gonna die, so I don't have to worry about this thing. The you know, I love how much zombies make a mockery of the whole ranged attacking capability. If they had that, then you'd have nothing to worry about. Or I mean, you'd be absolutely demolished in actual PvZ games. Like the one guy who has a ranged thing fucks you over in and of himself. The catapult guy who shoots like basketballs at you or whatever. 613 for each health your hero has. You don't really need to do that yet, although I'm still a little bit worried about it. So we're kind of getting slow paced, but we could play both of these and this, which would be amazing. In fact, I almost want to play this with it. We could end up doing a lot of damage to him with just the walnut thing alone. I think I care more about the number of them for now. This is perfectly fine. So what you get to do now, or no, we still are getting hit by strike through. Maybe I underestimated how. No, but it doesn't really matter, does it? It's not going to have frenzy. I'm very low, and the strike through alone is going to kill me. So that itself is a mistake. Fuck. Okay, this turn we'll definitely use the little ace in the hole that we have with respect to the invincibility. It's almost like I could slow pace his dumbass and say, no, the strike through will still get me. So it's almost pointless to try to block stuff with strike through. You should almost just ignore it sometimes. You should always do the draw or generation first. If you have a conjure effect or a draw and you're going to do it that turn, you should always do that as the first play in any game, because then it might change what you end up doing. Maybe I would have played that and it would have made some game-changing difference. But no, just by attacking into my nuts, they're going to be your own demise because, you know, you're going to end up killing yourself. So this is what I like about this so much. Right? You're literally dead. It doesn't even matter what you do. Look at that, dude. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is such a satisfying effect, honestly, with how it plays out. Although sometimes I make the mistake and play the guy in front. Just because he has so much health, you feel like it's better that way, or I mean, it's not like he has to get hit to trigger the effect. Somebody else has to get hit. It's kind of like a selfish team up that I want to preserve him as long as possible just to get the effect off. You have a 1, 2, 3. That's perfectly fine. But no, it's like I want this deck to be a little slow paced, but not too slow paced, because then you feel like you're not going to win anyway. I'm not a big fan of environments, really, but that was already a stupid mistake. Misplay on turn 1. I knew he has that effect. I just did it anyway. Oh yeah, not only do we have a Star Sword, but we even have it in this deck, and I just wasn't paying attention to it. +1 when another professional gets hurt. I guess it worked out in some form, but you wouldn't have even needed to do that then, right? Because you're the one who gave him the buff. There's the 007 thing. It's the Star Fruit, and you've had your 5. The little joke I made, like that's one of my favorite lines from the whole James Bond series, though. It's Smith & Wesson, and you've had your 6. Which just means, obviously, like, he's so smart and observant that you know, the guy tries to shoot him when he thinks he's there, but he's shooting at the bed. And so he shoots 6 times, so he would know there's no bullets left, so he knows he's safe. Destroy a zombie here with 3 or less. I always like the aesthetic of the Medusa and the whatever Neptuna and stuff. There's like 2 that look exactly the same. Could do that, but it doesn't have any crazy effects. So the 5/5 I'm worried about, but I guess I just won't worry about it, and I'll just deal with that. So all these do count as roots, or what does count as a root. Fly trap plant. How many fly trap plants are there in the game? There's so many of these types that seem so oddly specific, especially when they combine them together. Like it'll be some weird, you know, zombie, alien, this and that. And her hair just grows back. Like she just did that. You know, she just puts that down, but she could just do that every turn then. Right, once you play that, it should be gone for the rest of the game for lore accuracy. You would love that little aquarium mechanic minigame in fucking PvZ. Just do the, you know, what's your favorite garden? What kind of gardener would you be in PvZ? When you play a mustache, okay, we'll do this, I guess. I guess we just have to stall out because I'm kind of fucked. Right, I'm not going to take that much really, but this turn is just such a dead play. They just beat me on tempo so often, which as a defensive player, as a defensive hero, kind of makes sense that they might, but you should be able to recover, but I don't really have like any kind of crazy AoE. Their board isn't that threatening, but the 5/5 I definitely have to get rid of, and I can't figure out how. I might just have to play this. That was at least a good time to do it. It stalls things out a bit. Just give me an actual removal, man. Would this be enough if you like... It'll get +1 play. No, it still won't. +1 play. Oh, it'll even save you from this though. Oh, wow. This guy's just invincible. Like anything I do... It does have team up, but I can't even play it. I mean, it's fine. You'll still get your strike through in, but I just can't deal with this guy. He's got 11 damage anyway. Yeah, every zombie becomes a sniper, and the plants apparently become a non-trick user, which kind of doesn't make sense to the extent that... Why did I even put it there? It doesn't matter to the extent that they become like very... you know, the zombies are more into using tricks, even though they're more mindless than just hordes, and even team up. There's so many contradictions, right? Like, zombies should be less associated with tricks and more associated with team up because they're just mindlessly going in hordes, and the plants always have something up their sleeve, like a trick of a doom shroom or a cherry bomb or something like that. And then I guess I shouldn't have even put it there because I knew the thing was going to kill it, the environment. But you know, those things, and then the ranged attacks don't really make sense. Like, I'm sort of fact checking this game within the context of the lore of the series. This guy is fucking invincible, man. I can't even put this here, otherwise that thing won't die. So I'll still die to that, assuming the block meter doesn't save me, which I forget. Oh god. Or yeah, I shouldn't have relied on that fully. The strike through would almost kill you just by itself, though. Man, Astrocado is good, but so many of these cards that are good or seem good, you never really get the chance to actually play them because, you know, it ends up ending too quickly before that, or, you know, the game would have to drag out for a very long period of time, which any better deck is probably going to do anyway. We did technically get to play Bad Moon Rising anyway, right? With respect to, so we're already like halfway there. So we already lost to both of the zombie heroes too. And I played as every plant hero that I care to play as, right? Green Shadow and Wall Knight, Captain Combustible, so forget about Solar Flare. So we'll just go with one with Infinity here. Or maybe a couple if I win. Sometimes I don't even mind keeping higher cost stuff like that because then you're craving it later. Oh shit. What, is it just a bad matchup for you, dude? Your bot batteries ran out. But no, it's a case where that's what Astros was saying, that oh, Grass Knuckles is a really meta, really good hero. All the ones that people glorify are the ones that I don't see that much, or I don't typically like, even like Solar Flare, or even Rose just kind of pisses me off, just her whole existence and vibe and everything. And that's a very good low cost, low curve hand. So my aggro style, I play more so on Captain Combustible and to some extent on Infinity. Then the mid-range style, I definitely play on Green Shadow and Wall Knight and the Smash. And then Super Brains, I'm not even really sure. Super Brains, Solar Flare, obviously. So Solar Flare and Infinity are kind of equals to each other. Both aggro, and even Captain Combustible. Right, so Solar Flare is aggro, Captain Combustible is aggro, at least for my purpose. Infinity is kind of aggro. Then mid-range is definitely Green Shadow, the Smash, and Wall Knight. And then, obviously, who's the other one? Green Shadow, so Super Brains, I don't even really know exactly. I'd end up playing him aggro anyway just because it's the best that I really have, but no, I mean, you kind of got to make the most of how you play that anyway. Again, because it's not even that my cards or my decks aren't the best, but they're not going to be cohesive enough to really have a win condition or something that if the game lasts a long time, I know I'm going to lose. That's always my concern with a lot of my decks that I use, especially like in Hearthstone, a lot of my gimmick decks. Like, if the game drags on, they're obviously going to win because they have a win condition and their cards are much better and whatever. But if, you know, the game has to end in a moderate amount of time, not that it has to end in aggro, like really rush them down, but it has to end in a reasonable amount of time, like in this game by like turn 8 or by like turn 10. If it goes past then, you're gonna end up just losing. I guess I already messed up, but see, you can just tell I'm already outclassed by this guy because of the simple fact that look at his hand size. There's nothing I can do. Some of these puns are pretty fucking dumb though. High voltage current. When you play a berry, do 1 damage to your next door to... Do 1 damage to zombies next door to Strawberryan. Okay, this is good. What is the worst Plants vs. Zombies game, in your opinion? I guess everybody's saying it's part 3, whether it's just recency bias, but I don't know if there's really a worst. I've only played 3 of them. I've never played part 2, so part 1 is really good. This is pretty good. And then Garden Warfare 2 is the only one of those that I played. And so that's not bad either, so... I guess this would be the worst just due to its lack of content, maybe. Because Garden Warfare 2 has had a certain staying power. And so it's not really bad, but... And then the original PvZ is kind of a classic, even though it's a little bit too easy in its original state. But no, people get mad about PvZ 2 just because of the microtransaction stuff that goes on with it. So this would be a great finisher play if I can just last to that point. They won't expect it. Deal 1 damage, so I can do that to just one of the bananas, I guess, if I have to. But no, I never played Battle for Neighborville, and I never played Part 2, and I haven't played Part 3 either. It feels like I can't even play Part 3, even if I wanted to, because it's like in some test zone or something. Or I should have done that one, I guess. You have to be in like a test market or something, so I'd have to use a VPN to pretend like I'm in Malaysia or something. So they let me test, whatever, beta test it. Now I could catch them off guard for sure, and the reason... Oh no, I can't actually. But I can still move it around. Just don't have a ton of removal. You know, I'm going to end up losing a game like this where I have no business doing that. Just because they're going to drag it out. You rarely see that, actually. One of my favorite plants in the Plants vs. Zombies. But, yeah, in this game it's not treated that well. Or even, like... The Doom Shroom is so busted that I almost feel bad for using it. But in this game, you don't see it much at all. A lot of things are misrepresented, or especially the cattail is the biggest sin of all. How could you do the cattail wrong by... It's such a goat plant, and it turns into a basic 3-2? Like, what the fuck, dude? Are we gonna get a disgusting act by Repeat Moss over here? I've never gotten to say that myself because I don't actually use it. Oh shit, it's disgusting. A disgusting act by Repeat Moss. We finally get our moment. But it wasn't me who gets to say it. Fuck off, dude. That was at least a good combo. I guess we could do Solar Flare since that ended so quickly. Did we really lose every single one that fast? These episodes aren't short by my own choice, just because I have no choice within the little permadeath thing that we're doing. And I can still maintain it to some degree. It's just like I don't have to end the episode, I guess. Right, like I've always said it that way. Or maybe keeping all those wasn't the best idea. Okay, last game, or maybe not. Maybe I'll go until she loses. Which will probably be the same thing. Why can't we get like a lightweight matchup where they're just bad and they're using a bad deck? Not saying any of these are really that great. But no, I did beat Astros a couple notable times, and he sometimes was using decks that he was fluffing up and acting like they're so good. And he's somebody who knows the meta too, so his standard would be a bit high. But I somehow would clutch it out with some of those. But no, just the fact that I can play with those kind of players shows you that maybe my decks aren't that bad, or maybe I'm just so good, whatever. But like I almost beat a rank 50 on the ladder, which I had no business even playing him because the highest I've been was rank 20. So it's at least a 30 rank mismatch. This seems fine, although I do like the conjuration potential here too. Bro, hurry up. This game is very fast-paced though in every sense. Because like the plays aren't typically that complicated that you really have to think about them that long, but I shouldn't always say that. I mean, that's often how a lot of my decks are in other games too, that I do go for a bit of a lazy style or something, you know, kind of to the point. You just play the minion on curve and you just play for board control, and it's not always like that, but I just have that tendency. Right, and it's very satisfying to get something big out there, but then so often you just get fucked over by removal that is not very fun and kind of overused. We can do that anytime I want, so I just have to make sure but I don't have like a good play to combo it with. It's still worth it, I think. There's nothing else I can do. Or maybe I should have done the pair and just trusted that he wouldn't do anything crazy with it. But this guy always gets pretty good value. I'm surprised you would even bother doing that. Why not just keep it there? You must be a bot. Yeah, you'll never convince me that this game is more active than Hearthstone or any other card game, that it can be faster to find a match here. But I guess maybe because they don't care about the ranks, or maybe because it's just one server worldwide versus splitting it up by US, NA, Europe, whatever. Would I really bother to do that? I almost feel like I have to, but then you're still gonna die to whatever's in here. So it's pretty much top deck territory. You can Solar Flare clutch me out one win. I like that Green Shadow win because I had pretty much given up. They cleared my board like 2 turns in a row. Once with Zombot 1000 and then once with... Damn, we've cleared out people's block meters a lot though today. Once with the Zombot, and then... Am I gonna die because of that? No, I'll get the block meter though, guaranteed. And then he cleared my board again manually with like 5 different removal cards. But the reason why that's relevant is because of the simple fact, that might seem like a waste, but I just don't have any healing, so it's already over. That's gonna be way too expensive. Doesn't seem like anything I can really do. Or no, shit, I should have conjured that first, just in case. Imagine if that's a card that's gonna save me, which actually in some form, it might have, because I could have done that, and then this one wouldn't have killed me. Put it in a gravestone, that wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, I actually did misplay the... Not saying I would have been guaranteed to win, but I would have blocked that off. So remember, kids, always do your card draw and your other thing first. Card draw and conjuration come first. Because again, even if you end up not playing it, assuming that you wanted to play that card anyway that turn, right, it might change what you do for the rest of the turn. So I actually lost to everybody in record time. But I did get to play Bad Moon Rising, even though it wasn't the most satisfying use of it, where you're just playing on one thing. Like, let me look at my overall curve with this guy. Or again, it might have been because I'm using the deck he suggested, which again, I'm not blaming that really, but I just have to remember to try the other one next time. Like, our curve is decent, where you're gonna have some of these minions out there all the time, no matter what, right? So, you know, the likelihood of getting a good Bad Moon Rising is very, very high, and I don't have a lot of high-cost minions, even if I wanted to, so that's not going to be an issue anyway. Okay, see you tomorrow.